schooled individual, a man of very high science. He was able to make individuals like Mayor Lindsay bow down and submit to his will, so that he was able to be able to bring forth a program that we see produced today. So I'm saying to you that we're going to follow the pattern of the Father. We're going right back to City Hall and make sure that all of them devils that have sworn oaths to us fulfill their obligations. Because we know that we only allow them to have certain knowledge so that they can come amongst us and do trading. So we're going to make sure that they come amongst us and do trading properly so that we can use that to uplift our people. So once again, I thank my elder, Jamila God, and Al Jamal, and Father Dushan for all of the love that they've shown me over the years, and to my big brother, Freedom Allah, who I happen to be married to his sister. My queen over there is his baby sister.
That's why I tell you, it's one family. I keep telling you that, man. You see everybody that. When you look at Islam, man, Islam is one family, one universal family. I don't care how man teach it, which way you deliver it, it's only one universal family on this planet Earth. You have to move whatever way you come. Because when we came over and did what our people did, we was 100% black people. We wasn't Muslims, wasn't Christians, wasn't Jehovah's, but none of that. We were just black people, black men, black women, black child. And that's what it was. And that's what we got to bring it all the way back to that. We got to bring it back to the foundation that we even existed. Because brothers don't even know what time it is. You don't even know how much power you got on this planet. Just being a man. That knowing that you living and you taking care of home. You understand? You provide your foundation with food, clothing, shelter, and all these things. We got to take it back and put all this religion and all this nonsense that as a black man here in North America and put it to a side. And we got to unify. That's why I say united we stand. The fight we will fall as a nation of what? People. As a nation of people, we will fall down by the wayside if we don't come together and bring it all to be one what? Mind. Everything you see on this planet that you see, when you see a black man, you see a black woman, and you see a black child, that is our foundation. We built these things. Ain't nobody created nothing that brought us to existence. We brought ourselves to existence. And the only one can save us is us. So we have some brothers that ran out and they went into a world where they turned Christian. I came to church. My brother came to church every day. We got some brothers that's Muslims. We got brothers that Jehovah's Witness. We got black families all over the planet that's doing their job, doing whatever they got to do. Maybe someone can't sit in this audience that you are sitting in. Maybe someone can't sit, but wherever they sitting at and they're on the planet right, let them be. And our job is to bring them all back. Yes, sir. That's what our job is being men. To take all minds on this planet and make it one. Not judging a person or who they are or where they come from. That's their business. Whatever a person want to be, let them be. God damn it. Let them be. And all you do is uphold them and raise them from the dead. With all that said, all praise be to Allah, Lord of all the world, master this day of judgment. I say that He Allah and He Allah alone. Hey! Peace, love! My name is God Jamal Allah. I'm rest of the day. I know the brother said, our father had a relationship with man Lindsay and made him bear witness. And now God is going to that arena and achieve some of that goal. And I think it's peace, God, because I recently myself, I got one of the head devils in New York City, and he needed the job done. And they asked me the best person that could do that job. And that job is God Jamal. And that's just two reality talking about. This man is not in God's Jamal. Once again, he bear witness that Allah is the God. Out of all people in New York City that took original men to take their office, God, they had new technology for his security. And nobody understood how the system worked. And to be honest with you myself, God, I really didn't know it either, but I know there's something God can do once he put his mind to it. And I was the youngest brother on that job, and the only original man on that job was doing the electrician. And I took that system together. So actually, in reality, his life was in my hands, because whatever I did for him, if it didn't work, he'd be in trouble. That's why I said, God, we go everywhere, God. We touch everybody. And then he asked me, and I learned, I built with him. I didn't know it. He had a relationship with God Kali. So they touched me because now he didn't have to control all the service that
Islam is Islam. And everybody said, yeah, that brother still with Islam. How you doing? I said, man, the black man is God, and I ain't no Taliban. I'm just here to do the job, and they said the best. They said God, they said me. But by having a relationship with God Khalid, it made it easy for me to get close to him, to talk to him, and share my thoughts with him. Because he had some of the thoughts that he said to my big brother. Let's just show people that God is everywhere, y'all. Everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So now he knows God Jamel on a personal level. But like I said, whatever I had to do for him, you know what I'm saying? My life is in his hands, because I had the power to do it. Now, just adding on to that, God, these two books came out in the Feds magazine. One was the Father, and then you had the Kings of Kings, Lamb, the Tyler brother. These two books touched me dearly because they both played a part in my life. Before I had knowledge of self, I went with the Kings of Kings, Lance Tony Guitar, or the original 70 Crown. I grew up on the south side of Jamaica, lived right around the corner from these brothers. And then by that time I got knowledge about just going to good God when I was young about knowledge culture. You know, my birthday is 10 bro. I turned culture wisdom on knowledge culture day this month. All praise to be to Allah. And I'm still here and I'm living and I can still share my knowledge with my family. So you know, what you were saying that, you know, when you coming up God as a young God, you have a choice to make. You can either go right or you can go left. I had a choice of being negative or positive. During this crack era, God, when I was like 14 years old, I could have been one of them kingpins back in that day because a lot of them brothers respected me. One thing about God's mouth, anybody who knows me, I'm a loyal brother. I always been loyal. I don't take from nobody. Never took nothing from nobody. I can ask about it happen. And then by that time, when the gods didn't want to see, because the 5 and 6 nation and the 7th crown was the most 2 powerful forces in the desert at that time, God. And that's a fact. That's a fact, God.
Yes, sir.
And the gods was a little punk. And neither was the crown. And there was a real area in my life where I could have went either way. Just like the Father, I didn't want the money, God. Not in that shape, form, or fashion. So I had to stray away from you, bro. That wasn't in my heart, bro. That wasn't in my heart, because I love babies, bro. So the God gave me knowledge, and then I went back amongst them brothers, and I had to let you know, yo, we was acting with God, what y'all doing, man. That shit ain't right. To make it even deeper, as I'm growing up into the God's in a law school on 150th Street. That's in the drugs when they were crazy, bro. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm a young brother. I remember God going to the school. It was so wild in the desert, you didn't realize how bad it was on 150th Street. I got my young earth in the carriage. And I got a 70 heat in the carriage. That's how bad it was going to the block, dog. That's how bad it was. You realize how bad, a lot of crack that was stopping Jamaica Queens, it was stopped by the God. You know, we didn't stick our chests out, and we didn't ask for reputation, but a lot of that was stopped by the God. You know, we didn't make headlines saying whatever we did, we just did. Because we loved it. And a lot of brothers that was in this got caught that game too, like the Freedom brothers. You know, they got mixed up into that. And then the God, some brothers started mixing and mingling amongst that. You was one or the other. You God or you devil. You can't share both worlds. But I also learned growing up, being in the streets, that you can't alienate yourself from everybody. Because a lot of times brothers that hit on me when I was a young guy, but some of the brothers just talking my back. Because I was amongst them. I never say that truth on them, but I let them know I'm not part of that world. If you mess with my family, you want to mess with me. And they understood that I was like party with them, I was DJ for them, I was electrical work for them. There's a lot of things for these brothers, you know, as I grew up with them, but I knew my place, and my place was right here. So you gotta know your place where you're gonna be at, God. Your place is here with your family. And I say this all the time, I like to always go back to the young God, because God's future, God, and the black woman is the way. And she's the bridge to understanding to our children. And I always say, God, I always stress education daily, that the God needs to study. I can study too, God. I've been reading when I was 14 years, and I'm not that all the time, God. I still just go to follow the word today. I'm 46 years old. So I can make 6 figures in a minute. All right? So, just to say that, achieving what you got to achieve, God. I went to college, I got my degree, and half the time, when the teacher was saying things off the board, I couldn't write it down because I couldn't spell. But I put it in my head, and I recited it to myself. So I just took another method to learn it. So I know right now I'm in school, I might not be doing too well. I'm like that, God, don't let that hold you back, God. Don't let none of that hold you back, God. Don't let none of that hold you back, God. The only thing can stop you, God, is you. When brothers try to tell me sad stories, God, I said, God, I don't even want to hear it. Because God, they know what happened to you. They know what happened to you, God. And I'm 18 years old, raised 2 daughters by myself. That's a fact. One, like I said, left the Air Force as a pilot, sharpshooter for the United States Air Force. The other one, studied to be a doctor. Just go to our house in North Carolina, doing her thing. My seeds came out of this, and they did something just like me. They got it from their father, they knowledge God. What's the meaning of civilization? One had the knowledge, you don't understand something fine, and not savage when you should happen. So you got it, God. There's nobody stopping you, God. Education is the key, God. And taking care of your family. God, I built my earth now, God, for wisdom sight to live. That's a blessing, God. That's a blessing. That's a blessing, God. You know, a lot of brothers can't even say that. Right. That's a blessing. And don't think we didn't go through our trials and tribulations, because God, you know, wasn't always the man he is right now. But I took my queen through a lot of worlds, God. But the only difference for me and a lot of brothers that now that I look back, while I'm still on my earth, and a lot of brothers ain't there, one thing I always did, God, I always took care of my family. See, I always did that. I might have did my shady stuff before I really got into it myself. But the first thing I always did, to have food, clothing, and shelter. That's why she never wouldn't walk away from me, because I always gave her what she always needed. Now, if you were the queen, and you're not giving her no food, you ain't giving her no shelter, and you ain't giving her no clothing. When she's a young earth, she would tolerate a lot of things that you would say to her because she's young. But when she comes to that womanhood, and she grows up, you ain't providing no food, you ain't providing no clothing, and you ain't providing no shelter, she's out of here, God. That's the only thing separates me from a lot of women brothers. I always took care of my family to that extent. And I fast and pray to Allah that, you know, everything worked out. And today, like I said, I still have all my children, I have my queen, and I'm blessed today, God. Praise.
Hey, my name is the Lord Justice. I'm originally from Medina. I got my education in Mecca, and now I got some P-Law. I've been away for a while, and I just want to let the nation of the God and the earth know that I'm back. Hey, and it's good that I came to this rally, because this is the first parliament since I've been home, and I was to make sure that I made it to this rally so I could build on the understanding cycle. Now, and it's good that this rally is building on the history of this nation, because I know the history of the nation. I know history. Not only do I know history, but I make history. Right? My business degree is power science. Right? I had 120 degrees activated in my brain since I was knowledge following. And I ain't never lose a word of it. There was never a time in my history where I had to say I had to renew my history, except for that every 25,000 years. Right? When I came into the knowledge of self, we had a different type of language. I don't mean different as far as our mathematical language, but we manifest things differently. Like we wasn't saying God build on today's mathematics. We said God break it down. So that's what I like to do. I like to break things down, and then after we break it down, then we could build on it. So today's mathematics is understanding cycle. That tells us what and how. But I want to talk about who and what, meaning who and what is God. I brought my daughter, I brought my grandson, and I brought my niece to this rally, whether this is their first rally, and y'all gonna see my great-grandson and my great-granddaughter, they gonna be here too. You know, we was breaking things down, so when we talk about who is the original man, right? Because that's who and what is God. We talk about who's the original man, the way that we break that down, because there's a lot of us, or there's a lot of people, because there's people that know our language, but they don't necessarily live our culture. Right? And when we talk about who is the original man, when you say that, you gotta understand what you're saying, because you're saying something heavy. That's deep when you say that you were the original man. Because when you look at the prefix of the word original, then you see the word origin. And origin means the essence, it means the root, it means the base, it means the foundation. And when you look at the substance of the word, then you see the word all. So when we say that we are the original man, that we are saying that we are the origin, that we are the essence, that we are the base, that we are the root, that we are the foundation of everything in existence. That's who and what is God. Riding up here, my niece said she don't know about this religion. And I just looked at her and I smiled, because I know that she didn't understand the cycle. Right? Because what we teach is not a religion culture. We teach the culture of our God, or ourself, Lord and Master. See, and I still talk like that, even though, and I can talk what we refer to, or what a lot of these young girls refer to, and as the new math, but I don't even like that type of terminology when they just use the term math and don't say mathematics. You know, because they leaving out a very important part when they leave out the suffix of mathematics. You know, and I was telling her that we don't teach religion. I remember coming up in the knowledge of myself, and you know, some of y'all may not like this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like that, we are here to crush all religions. Whether it comes in the form of Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism, Islam, or any other of them entities or ism. We here to crush that. You know, religion was one of the main tools that the devil used to keep us blind to ourselves in the natural. So we here to crush all that. You know, when you look at the prefix of the word religion, you see the word rely. R-E-L-I, but I equal Y. And we know why. We know that Y is the 20% of the alphabet, and then 2 and 5 is 7. And 7 is Almighty God Allah. That's why. But in the religious term, right, they want us to depend. Because rely means to depend upon. And when you stop bearing witness to the greatness of yourself and start giving praises and glory to some force or to some being that you think is more greater or more mightier than yourself, and you become a religious man. The Father told us, he said, sons, he said, there is no force and there is no being that is more greater or more mightier than yourself, and for us to bear witness to the greatness of ourselves. And that's what we do. That's why we still here, cultural knowledge and faith. So, I'm going to be around, because I ain't going no place no more. You know, the black man is like the UN universe. You know, we may go down, but we come right back up. So I'm going to say for now.
Hey! Hey! My name is Elijah, and I'm English. And it says our nation history. And our things we speak about history. And I just want to comment on one little incident. The Lord said, all praise is due. Speak up. Now stop acting like, how do we crush other religions? You know, because you can say certain things in this season. That means we're going people's actions. But when you get up in a public forum and teach, and someone grabs something you say, do they really understand us? Is we really making our mathematics understood? Now I'm talking history. But when I'm hearing certain things, we have to learn to be responsible. If we continue, let's deal with the history. Let me go back to me, my story. Like they say, his story. Let me talk about what my story is. I remember when I first came here, a lot of you brothers might not eat tuna fish, but we learned this later on. But I remember we used to get 2 or 3 cans of tuna fish, or onion. We used to get one of them big. We would cut them off, put the tuna, the mayonnaise, the onions, stir it up with our hands. Take the bread, dip it out, spread it on the bread, make the sandwich. Don't you know how long these people? That's what made me know. We fed each other. We showed love to one another. And if anyone goes that know me, I teach this everywhere I go. We ain't never going nowhere if you don't love that man, like you love us. If we can't move as one, and remember this, Allah, the Father, He's the Father of this nation. And I want to tell y'all something. I'm a father that's in this nation. See the difference? These are the mathematics that we show. What do we do? We talk history. Learn from your mistakes. If all that, I don't want to say the word, didn't produce that thing, don't you think we need a new people? Make a mistake. Look where we acted. Was this 2000 what? And you got brothers back about 1964. Look at the audience. I bet you can go count 4 people outside. Then we find inside. Let's talk history. I remember when this used to be packed. What people that became dissatisfied? What did dissatisfaction bring? Who know their lessons? What did dissatisfaction bring? Change. What for the good? See, change can be both ways. See, we automatically say change. I don't need shit like good. And when I talk to y'all, I talk to me. Because I'm included. We got a lot of work to do. This is the issue that I want to talk about. The past means something. And the only way that the past means something is we going to learn from it. And we can learn to stop making the same mistakes over and over again. All of us are trained scientific masters and this and that. You still got people that you know. You got brothers that don't even like each other. In the same nation, I would like him. Why? Go get to know each other. We trying to go all the way into infinity. We not even caring about the one that's sitting next to each other. All these swift talking brothers. Everybody love all Lord. I wouldn't tolerate all this. I was there. I was here since 1967. And ain't going nowhere. But then I look at what I'm so proud of. Everybody's saying we responsible. What we really doing? I ain't saying to get up here and try to act like we so intelligent and maybe I something certain way. And remember what I've said, I'm including. I'm talking to you too. But let's not talk. Let's start doing something about what we do. We are builders, let's get to building. first stage of building? How do you start out? You just come in from what it is, start over your mouth, that's building. What is the establishing? It's new things being created for us, the creators. What's new? What's greater today than it was yesterday? See, this is how I measure myself. How did I improve my life today? That is better than yesterday. Sometimes it's one thing in the mathematics, everything's going to get that kind of thing. And we still got babies. And we got babies that live in the house of people that wear our universal flag, that come in the name of Almighty God on law, that live His children. And we are proud of this. This is what we're so proud of. Everybody come here because they can quote off 120. And I can show you 120 kids that's been in this land. I ain't talking about on the outside. We talking about on the inside. Love. This nation is not going to move inside. We don't start loving one another. Love is power. Everybody got their own agenda. We better come and unite. United we stand. Divided we fall. I don't care how strong you in your individual, but we don't become as one. I'll show you another thing. And they're going to step on a lot of toes. I don't want to keep. What did we ain't never shown improvement? Do anybody know anything that no God showed improvement? And we all show improve everything we do. Allah proves that the black man is God. What's our job? To show and prove that we can be on law. Not individually. We done showed that the black man is God. Now we must take it to another level. All minds must be one. When all minds become one, change come overnight. Tomorrow the whole universe change. You know why it's not changing? All minds ain't one. Everybody got their own agenda. Everybody is favoring what they want. It ain't a they thing. It's a we thing. Universal Savior. I stand for better too. But I still know what I'm talking about. I build to be born. I don't build to come up here and try to be famous. Because there ain't nothing greater than God in. I want it to work. Let's say things that work. This is my history. I have little issues too. Matter of fact, I got about 3 bills I gotta be paid. I got things to do. I go to work every day. I pay bills. I buy baby food. I buy baby clothes. I still got time to deal with my nation. I also got time to deal with your kids. See, we gotta start being one. I don't dislike him. Why should I dislike him? Or him? But I'm scared to get to know him because I'm scared I might love him. These are the things I work on. These are the mathematics that show your greatness. The unity of this. You know how close we got? I don't know the exact year. If anybody get it and help me out. A sister, they had a party. I think it was some Savage Scars. Wanted to come in the party. No. Funky men come to my party. So they beat the sister. 80s or 70s, late 70s or early 80s. Guards from every program. came to Peter. When we woke up the next day, one day, remember the colors they used to wear in the little round circles? We found jackets all over the place. That was the love. It didn't happen in Medina, but Medina came. It didn't happen in the desert, but the desert came. Brothers from all over Mecca. That was love. I said, I'm in something that work. I'm in something that work. You got babies now that need help with their homework. And all you go is to poke 120, but we can't even help our babies with their homework. Oh, you laugh. But I was laughing. But I understand, brother, and no offense. We have, but that's not what happened. You know what? Sometimes we should really think about what we really doing. Is we really that God? Many shall come. Many shall profess to be him. How many think that's real? My name is a Lord You Reality. It ain't real God. Like I said, I got issues. But I'm real about what I'm real. I ain't trying to be perfect, but ain't nothing great with me in. I hold the highest office on the planet Earth. I'm God. And the earth is my home. Why we gotta get our home together? It started at home. You don't understand that? It starts at home. All these professors, all these scientific buildings. We need daycares. We need food programs. What's stopping us? Because I don't like that group over there. This group over there don't like that. This brother don't like this brother. This sister don't like this sister. Cut it out. Be God, be earth. Let's love one another. Love works. Trust me. It works. When a man or a woman know they got a shoulder to lean on, it binds you. Love binds a nation. People don't understand that. We trying to do everything. We're not loving one another. And each group, and they got groups, and y'all know I ain't lying, trying to outdo the other group. Well, we supposed to be more than you, and we accomplish more than you. Why? Because we're not thinking as one. But to get up here and say we want, each and every day, deceiving these babies, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Love binds anything. You ever hear when the mother used to kiss you over, they call it a boo-boo? Get a little cut, kiss it, show the little love. The baby's still in pain, but that love makes the baby so, oh, I'm not in pain no more, Mom. We ain't gonna love one another. Stop talking then. Talk your brother. Show it. What you think you a faggot? I be hugging my brother so tight, I don't even want to let him know. This is where we gotta go. It's love. Love's gonna solve, it's gonna solve the problem automatically. But when you love someone, you're gonna let them happen to. You're gonna start being on point. You're gonna have security right. You're gonna have everything right. You're gonna make sure the baby's in. You're gonna make sure the person's all right. You're gonna make sure your brother all right. Because you love. Everybody trying to do something about love. I don't even like that name. Look what gods is doing, calling other gods. I don't like that name. Thank you for that name. And this is how we teach. We are bad teachers. You know, we brag about how we teach. We got 150 people. And like I always teach this, what is a teacher? All you teachers. Is a teacher somebody like me that get up and talk? Do you talk, guys? Well, you explain this word how much you want. If I don't get my point across to no one here, guess what? I didn't teach no one. I don't care how long I taught. If I didn't get my point across, I didn't teach nobody. I just got up there and said something. That's the difference. Do what you say until my penetrate. I penetrate hearts. When I talk, it penetrates your heart. That's what I'm here to brag about. I'm not penetrating your heart. I'm not making you that hate me love me. That's the God. You don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I know my message. I ain't trying to challenge you. Why should you want to challenge me? You'll lose. Guarantee you will lose. Also, when we act up, I see it. And I'm saying it again, you ain't scared to take mine. Don't be scared to take yours. I'm ready for improvement. You be ready too. I know I got a lot to do. But you know, you got a lot to do too. As we say, let us also. Remember, I hear understand the cycle. I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna end mine. And I ain't gonna even explain this, but I'm gonna drop this. And also, by thinning the original man's blood, it became me. I know where you're thinking, or you know where I'm coming from. But first, it only became white and weak. You know your lessons what I'm talking about. But also, by thinning the original man's blood, it became weak. Also, by thinning out our unity, not unifying with the strength, we gonna get weak and subject to the wickedness also. Well, believe me, I quote lessons. Anything I say, I could prove it in 120. If we don't unify and leave this group thing alone, because that's just a game. And we have to take. We are not a game. Then stop acting like it. I don't know how far y'all go back, but this is history too. I had an incident in Fort Wayne, Florida. I was attacked by a dog. The guards was from Medina. I raised Medina. They were singing a song. Ain't no guards but the guards in the demon. So I said, ain't no guards but the guards of people on back up in Jersey too. But I was attacked. One brother said, well, you had a drink too many. What be done? Why am I being attacked? Don't tell me about me. What about who attacked me? But guess what? I love him still. But he ever put his hands on me, then I'll put it on. You ain't gonna hurt me. There's no hurt in me for you. None. Everybody want to prove something. No one. Prove that you are educated. Get up here and educate. That's what we need. Get up here and start educating. Not being flamboyant. Not trying to get a reputation. When I leave and I walk out, some of the brothers come up and they start. So it comes automatically. Get up here and teach. And remember, like I just said, that's a teacher. Remember, you got all types of students. So you got different levels of learning. Everybody don't learn on the same level. So when you look at the babies, You got to think about it. And we got to love one another. And I'm going to say this all the time. If it takes me 1,000 times, I don't care about all these programs that's going on. If we have all these programs in motion, if we don't have the love for one another, ain't none of them going to work. You know why Allah was so successful in all of his buildings? Because we loved Allah. Do you don't love your brother the way you love your father? Transfer that love to that man sitting next to you, to that baby sitting next to you, to that earth sitting next to you, and you'll see why Allah was so successful. Allah went and got a lease for 99 years. Think about it. If some niggas think this is 99 years, if you think about that, and we still trying, we even got brothers with little power. Do you not help one? Raise your hand. Who won't help that? You gotta send him to the enemy to get him. Okay, you got a little drunk things going on in school, that's good. What about these brothers with mental problems? Who we sending them to? To the enemy again? We're gonna start raising our hand. I can help. I can help. Don't you know it's God that's doctors around nation? You got some brothers that's God that I get phone call. Yo, my brother's gonna do some calls. We'll move on with it. It didn't change. Automatic. Just let's say it shall be and it will be. So you don't know the power of unity? Having unity? That's a force. You know why certain brothers be so successful? Because then they go, and I hate to say the word, but it's the truth, and it's time to tell it. And they will come. We love each other. If my brother have a tear, I feel it. You got brother now ask me, you got to do it like I got it. Maybe one of them, let me see what you was going to do. But I can get it like you. Acting God, and be God. Sometimes I play like you a tough guy, and you know you ain't. Be real. And work. Allah is God. Without a shadow of doubt, I could prove it. I don't leave no stones unturned. The black man is God. Are we not liking each other? You love the father, but you don't not love your brother. But who is your brother? You say your brother's a law. Now you're trying to separate and divide and make a law different? Or the father's a law, but your brother is. But we trying to be like him, and be him, and it's equal equality, born equality. Well, no. He ain't the father, then who the hell is he? Who is he? Only thing I could learn a lot about him is not acting like the father. There's nothing a black man could do. Just stop the black man. I don't care if you don't even build no more. The black man still comes. It's going to make the process a little longer. That's all it's going to do. Build him. Love him. Love her. And especially love your babies. Love your baby. And love you too, baby. I don't want to go about it. Love these babies. Be responsible. And responsible in a way that responsibility actually really means something. And it don't mean nothing that you get up here and you pop whatever you pop it, teach. don't care what you're doing, I love you. I don't care if you're mentally disturbed, I love you. But God can help us all. We got a cure for all things. There's not on this planet that we can't take care of. But stop laughing at our brothers that's mentally is not capable of doing something. But we could revive. We say not a physical one, but can we bring them back from the physical ones? So what's our problem? Don't the lesson say that? No, we don't know it. When you see a brother, don't kick him up. Because you know something else. If you ain't never tried to help a brother, stop criticizing. If you never reach your hand out to pick a man up, stop trying to knock him down. That's where he bothered me to be more than anything. Ain't nothing to do with it. You ain't never trying to help me, stop asking me. Why should I help you? Because we love. And you know something else? I won't end for real this time. The love of God is the greatest love of all for one reason. For God to love those who live in peace.
Hey. All right. Peace once again. Hey. Time is kind of early, so I'm going to ask for the next speaker to come up. That'll be unique to love. That's all you need. Show yourself. Hey.
Please, God,
This is an oral history rap, right? So I'm gonna take it there. As the brother was, as a few brothers got up here and was speaking, at first I had to put out something in my mind and wrote it down, and I wasn't to say this about the oral history rap, but then I'm gonna take it back to the old school. I heard James mention, and I heard that the audience is short. And then I said to myself, in the back, where the brother, reality just spoke, the sister sitting in the back, through what my words that I'm proud of you, God. So I'm not gonna never get up here and never say that I'm proud of what I'm doing. So the sister back there, I want you to give her a hand, because I spoke to her in the street, and she's here today. That is one of the things that we have to start doing. If you can't have no doubt when you come out your mouth. When you come out your mouth, you gotta stand there and you gotta build, like he just said, Biala just said, like the Father did. That's what I see when I come out my mouth. So whatever I say to anybody in the street, I'm gonna make sure it's right and exact. Else I ain't gonna say it at all. If I tell you that I'm gonna do something for you, I'm gonna do it. Because I understand you had to get rid of 4 days. Right? And before you're able to manifest anything, you gotta get rid of those. So if I look at another brother, I'm not looking at him for what he got on, or how he look, how he do. I'm looking at how he build, how he produce. What is he producing? And if he's not producing anything, then I'm really just trying to bear with him. I'm just trying to stay with him. Because after a while, I'm going to make him mentally dead. Physically, I don't try to hurt nobody. Alright? Now, I'm going to go back to the day, seeing that this is all history rather with the God, Sister Turtle, and they put me down as Medina. That I'm a Medina God, but I came from everywhere. Right? So I don't have no problem with Medina, I don't have no problem with Mecca, I don't have no problem with the desert, I don't have no problem with nobody, because we all have come together for one common cause. So I'm gonna go back to the time when it was you got on the train. And if anybody remember what King Man with, when you got on the train, and before you got on the train, you might have met in the park. All the guys met in the park. And the first thing we would do is we would ask each other's days back with that. Right, Exact? Right, Exact, right? That's from Medina, Mecca, the
desert, wherever you came from, that day, you had to know the day's mathematics.
That was just local.
All right? That's what you had to know. Then another thing I'm noticing about a lot of people, they ain't proud of their flag. That's how you can't recognize a lot of I don't want to say That's why you don't recognize a lot of the brothers that say they come under this name. Because when they get ready to do some mess, they take it off. I heard that a long time ago. I'm gonna take my flag off because I'm about to go around here and sell some drugs. That's not what we're about. And I tell you, see, when we messing up, we scared. A lot of us scared. Some of the brothers come up, they might got a guard you there, or they got some other brothers that's behind them. If I feel you doing something wrong, I'm gonna say it to you. And if I got to die, it's die, and then the black man live.
That's right, brother.
That's how I go. Now, all y'all that know that history know what I'm saying. I come from a second generation. Now, I'm sad that my father's not here today. But I come from a second generation. I got 5 brothers down here right now, and we're working on another one that we're trying to get him here. And that's what got to be done. Now, James. I heard somebody mention how we changed the James. Some of us was the James. If you want to hear something, some of us was the James. Some of us was Tomahawks. Some of us was Jelly Stompers. Now they got Bloods and Crips. And at the same time, half of them brothers don't even know that they don't have the unity like we had in the 70s. Think about it. Some of them, you might have a blood sitting right next to you. You don't know your blood. Only way you can tell is how the colors they got on. Which is stupid. Which is stupid. And even the unity, like with the divisions, like the Tomahawks and Tomahawk sex boy. Back in the days that I can remember as a young brother coming up and being God, I had to deal with all that. Because I got my windows knocked out a couple times. You know, because I didn't want to go with the gang. And a lot of times I might have stood with the crowd, but I wasn't really with the crowd. I was in that crowd teaching. So, a lot of times I hear a lot of brothers, yo, he was in my crowd, and I was building, and then he made me punch him in his mouth. I was in the crowd, and I was building, and he made me do this. Who's the making owner? Who's the making owner? Right here. So if I'm in the square building, how can a man come into my square and change the way I think? It's highly unlikely, right? Not nowadays. I heard that before somewhere. It's highly unlikely for a brother to come in my square and change the way I think. If I'm standing on my square and I'm building, that's what I'm building about. Now, if you don't like what I'm talking about, you can step back from the square. I remember a time, we did that before back in the history, where it was a time where it was a site, and when we had a site going on, you didn't have people walking through and come past your site and, excuse me, I gotta get through here. No, that didn't happen. Now I see it happening there. I see people come you might be standing there talking to your brother, you got a site going on, they come some, about 3 floors down, excuse me, I got a little bit fast, and we open it up. That didn't happen, especially from Medina. That didn't happen in Medina, no kind of way. And I believe they didn't even have this effect. Because when I came up here, and maybe I was outside, standing outside, I rarely did that. I most of the time came and sat over there and see where the brother sitting, or maybe sat in something back in the back, and I sat and I waited. And I got the knowledge that I needed before I opened my mouth. Number one, I got the education. Then I heard a lot of brothers get up here and talk about the man sitting in the wheelchair. Much respect. Likewise, much respect. And a whole handful of other brothers that was helping me build with my father. Because I say helping me build with my father because my father started me into this. And helped me to get where I'm at today. So right now, I teach school, teach an after school program. I ain't get that high yet, I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? I got to get that money for that master's degree. And if not me, it might be my son. If not my son, it might be one of my daughters. I tried to have them here today, and I'm proud that the brother said that. Because when he said that he got his granddaughter, I wanted that today too. I wanted to bring my whole crew with me. I want to stop them from not knowing what I'm about. Because they do know, but they don't really know. And that's our fault. So I'm not going to stand up here and point at you and point at anybody in this crowd about what they do. I got to do what I got to do. I got to stand on my square. And I got to teach. We can go back to something else I got on the paper. Funerals. All the history that I've been here since, what, 1970? Maybe a little earlier than that. I don't remember because I was born. But I've been around a long time. And every funeral I went to that was dealing with God or earth, I always heard a preacher stand up there, and I'm upset with that. Because it's about time that we have, when our people pass, it's time for us to deal with that situation. It's time for us to stand there and build about that situation. The last brother that went back that I was at his funeral, and this is how powerful the knowledge is. I dealt with the mother of that kid that passed. And she allowed me to run the field. She allowed me to bring her family in and introduce them to our nation. And that's how powerful it is. So I'm proud of this. And I'm never going to stand up here and say I'm not. Okay, growth. I'm on growth now. Growth starts with all of us. When I first, a lot of times every year when I go into like the schools, the public schools, and I can see some kids that they giving medicine to. I can see some kids that they say this kid can't make it. But most of the time they sit down with me, I got them. I have a couple of kids in my class now that they say this kid can't make it. He's so messed up. He got so many problems in his house. You know what we forget? We forget the 12 alphabets. Love, power, and right. That's what we forget. We forget that in order for that baby to learn anything, we got to show him some kind of love. And if we don't, what's going to happen? Going to hell. Going to hell. Like my father, for example, my father is $2,000 for those who don't know who my father is. And I say he's my father because of the simple reason. When I was a little kid, I think I was about 16 years old, and I never tell this story. I done told it to a few people that come around me and know something about me. That when I was a little kid, I was put out. And Kusai was in the neighborhood, and Kusai used to do a lot of teaching in the neighborhood. And he was the type of God that would come up to you and say, yo, you hungry? You need something to eat? As long as you was saying the original man was God, Kusai was with you. And he made sure that after he finished building with you, he was sending you in the right direction. So Kusai is really responsible for me to go to college. Kusai was responsible for me to do a lot of things that I wasn't able to do in the home that I was raised down from. So that's how he became my father. Alright? Let me see what else I got on this list. Again, I'm going to cut it short, because they asked me to keep it short, but I was sitting here listening to a lot of things. I think I mentioned about the rally, and I think that since you didn't mention to me about bringing people, I tried to bring a rally. I'm going to try to bring one person every time I come. And then I don't want them to come, like I see a lot of events that happen outside, and I'm going to say it. Because one thing, I've learned not to have any fear, and I heard that somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's my lesson. Not to have no fear that I'm a grown man now. All right, so I'm going to say this. Whenever you bring somebody to put it, this place. I've learned not to have fear because of who I am, because of what I know and how I know. I just got to pass that what I was just about to say, because a lot of things is on my mind, and that's how I can roll. Sometimes you get up here and you don't want to say the wrong thing. I never want to say the wrong thing, because I want people, when I read from over here and I read something in their head that you can say, damn, God just said something that's really positive that we need now not to have people just sitting outside and all in the hallway and doing all kinds of crazy stuff that you know, they calling themselves me. I try not, you know, let me take it back a little bit, and then I'm gonna cut it short, all right? I'm gonna cut it short. Let me take it back. I used to sell weed. I used to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what? A little brother came up to me one time. A little dude. And he was in the Navy. I don't know if y'all know Daniel. He was in sensitized. Little dude came up to me and said, yo, my brother, come here for me. I walked up to him. You know, I got my lessons and stuff. Yo, you know why I can't sell no weed? Let me tell you something, my brother. A little bit. I said, yo, let me tell you just like this. The reason why you don't sell drugs to somebody is because you know that's hurting your people. If you sell crack to them, look what's happening to them when you sell that. And that's what I'm going to leave.
He's God's nerve. Next God that's going to build, and yo, the next God going to build is you alone. You alone. In the name of Allah, the benefits of the most merciful, to whom all things are due to, Lord of all the world, the Master of this day of judgment, in which we now live in, I dedicate this parliament, as all parliament, to the founder, the father of this nation. Peace. A lot of guys get over here and start criticizing God. My thing is not criticism. I don't believe in criticism. A man who criticizes a lot really don't have nothing to say. The way I would talk about the Father is that you see your brother wrong, then help him out. You see your brother need aid, then help him out. Criticizing, that is not an ignorant person's way of doing things. The Father said a lot of things, but the Father's teachings are not written in stone. The only thing written in stone is knowledge and wisdom. The Father gave us understanding. You cannot write down understanding. Because you go day to day. You got to take situation after situation and evaluate it, elevate it, and see how you're going to handle that situation. One time the police came into the street captain. Dr. Umullah was there. There was a sergeant and some police. And I wouldn't let them in. And Umullah said, let them in. I said, I'm not letting these police in. And he said, I'm going to get the father. He went and got the father. The father told me, every time the police want to come into the school, let them in. I said, all right, you know, it's your thing. You know, I was mad. But the next day, the police had called the father and son. And the father took me on the side and said, son, I'm glad you did stop them from coming in. So this showed me how the Father taught me. Don't have things rigid in your mind. Have things loose in your mind. Be like a palm tree, bend with the wind. Don't be rigid in these teachings. Because these teachings elevate. What you're teaching today, you're going to elevate from this point on up. This is an unfoldment of consciousness. This is an unfoldment of awareness. The things I knew years ago, right now I look at that like, oh man, I was just a baby. And if you rigid yourself, you will never be able to understand the greater. You just stay on the least. These teachers on the least, these teachers on the greater. When we introduce somebody into this knowledge, we give them the least teaching. But as they grow, they give themselves the greater teaching. Because the greater teachings come from the soul. But this is an unfoldment that you have to understand. We wrote the Bible to give these people the understanding. We wrote the Quran to give these people understanding. We wrote books before the Bible and the Quran to give these people understanding. In one part of the Bible we wrote, let us make man in our image and likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, and every creeping thing that creep upon the planet Earth. This is man made in God's image and likeness. But a few chapters down, we make man again, but we make him from the dust of the ground. A snake is above the dust of the ground. We try to teach that man, especially the black man, nature is doomed. He has a righteous nature, and he has that nature that created the devil. We put these teachings symbolically in the Quran, the Bible, the Book of the Dead, to show the people, those who have understanding, those who have elevated their mind and uphold with this consciousness, so that they can understand, so that we can present these teachings properly to the masses. The Bible, the Quran is our teaching. The Muslims don't have no claim on that. The Muslims are ignorant people. They are very ignorant. They don't even get their book as equal rights. They come over here and open up shops, sell pork on it. Unless you confront them, then they might get the pork out. You know, they sell them little pipes and they're built out like women. Really, I hate those. You know, but that's another story. But the teachings that Allah gave me is flexible. The only thing they work with your lessons stay printed as they is. My teachings are flexible. That's how you get understanding. We taught the world. We taught everywhere. I know I taught damn near everywhere. And these teachings are real, and they are related towards us. We got a chapter we wrote in the Bible, we say, behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet before the coming and great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he should turn the heart of the father to the children, and the heart of the children to their father. Lest I come and smack the earth with a curse. We put that there in the Bible. Elijah came. Elijah Muhammad. The uncle Elijah Muhammad came. And he turned the heart of the father, because the father went through his mind to us, the children. I mean, this is plain. This is in the Bible. This is plain. This is related as towards us. The father told me, he showed me that chapter in the Bible. I said, oh man, yeah, we right here. We got another chapter in the Bible that says, we shall be strangers in a land that is not ours for 400 years. And we shall be afflicted by these people for 400 years. The Jews try to say that's them in Egypt. They say a stranger. Egyptians knew Jews. The black man didn't know the situation in North America. When they brought us over here, we didn't know these white people. And they destroyed the first generation of blacks. When they destroyed that first generation of blacks, they was left with something they can mold, that they can grow. And they gave that person the name Negro. That person had no knowledge of himself. That person was deaf, dumb, and blind. He was mentally ill. A mentally ill person means a person who cannot process mentally too. His mental cannot process. His mental is out of whack. And this is how we was made. When they destroyed that first generation, that second and third generation was a deaf, dumb, and blind people. The only person we had to look up to, all our knowledge came from, was the white man, the master. We was totally out of it. We didn't know who we was, where we came from, what greatness that we ever achieved in the historical world. We was an ignorant person. So when I look at the black man today, I can't criticize him. We was ignorant for 400 years. We went through hell. And the fact of slavery is still affecting us today. A lot of y'all don't want to admit it, but it still affects us today. And I try to show brothers, you know, when I came to knowledge of myself, I turned my whole thing around. I see brothers and sisters that light-skinned sister looked good. Oh, you ain't see that brother with that nice hair? What the hell is nice hair? Nice hair is what the white man taught me what was nice hair. I taught myself into the real knowledge of myself. Because I know the standard of beauty was based upon our own concept before we even seen a white man in the country that they call Africa. This is how we got to come back into the knowledge of ourselves. And this is how we got to teach the black man out there. I met a law when I was 16 years old. I went to Manawan State Hospital to see him. What was going through my mind, I said, Dad, you supposed to be crazy. The father came out, I didn't know what to expect. I was sweating, I was nervous, I was scared, because a lot of guys wouldn't even go up there. They said, who want to go see the father? I said, I'm going. And when I went to see him, a humble man came out with a big smile on his face. He wasn't a monstrosity. He wasn't nothing to fear. You know, they say he feared God. It was a humble man that I approached that day. And he was teaching. One thing he was trying to impress upon our mind about the clock. A lot of guys don't teach about the clock right now. You know? He taught us that if you want to master the people's minds out, because we are masters. We are master psychologists. We are master sociologists. But who else can give or create or confront the black man those buttons? Our lesson teacher. And you got to take those lessons higher than they are. That's how come we got to unfold this awareness of the black man. You got to know who you are. Our lesson and our history is a collective thing. All of us include ourselves. But you are individual. You got to include, you got to know who you are. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses. You know, one time we used to teach that we don't have no emotion. That was silliness. You know, we do have emotion. That's what I'm trying to show unfolding of awareness. Everybody here got emotion. One time we used to teach you don't have no emotion. Or we master our emotion. Your emotions are showing you something. Your emotions are taking you somewhere. You got to know who you are. You got to know your emotional body. You got to know your mental body, the physical body, the spiritual body, your infinite body. You got to study some just like you study your lessons. In fact, some is more important than the lessons. Once you get to know the lessons, you know them, all right. Now you got to get to really know who you are, what you're about, and what you're trying to achieve in this life. Allah, when we used to go see Allah, the Manawan, he would have dreams and tell us about his dreams, and would tell us, like, to go see the Father in Manawan, you had to be right in exact. You wasn't right in exact, you wasn't going to get it. One brother went up there and he had a hole in his tank. He wasn't right in exact, they wouldn't let him in. And the Father told us, before we even mentioned it, he told us that he had a dream one of us came in a cancer spirit. And we said, yeah, we got a brother out there who couldn't get in. And everything's for real. You go see the Father. A lot of God went up there but didn't get in. I went to see the Father about 2 times, got in both times. And he used to tell me, he used to teach me about his dreams. But this was opening up a new door to him. Not just a dream, but you have a awareness in you that we call the subconscious. And this subconscious you work with. You know, if you know how to use it. You know, and I learned this from the Father, how to use my subconscious. I always go to my gut feeling. My gut feeling never leaves me alone. If I got to think about it, it might be a bad judgment. We have things in us, we have logic, we have what they always want to get a woman, what they call it, intuition. I got intuition, you know. That ain't a woman's thing, that's a man and woman's thing. All you got to do is learn how to use it. I don't know on too long, I would like to say a few more things about the Father. The Father teaching, the Father, the way he taught me, and he taught me one-on-one. He wasn't rigid. From the things I learned back then, I don't look at the same situation as I do now. This is about a growth situation. You got to go in mind and understand it. And understand what your spirit is. When I say spirit, I don't mean ghosted. I mean like the parental life forces, the inspiration, the aspiration, the energies in you that wake you up in the morning. Because you know when you die suddenly, you know, and we are here to bring back the mentally dead. I do not cannot criticize the so-called American Negro. Because the so-called American Negro went through some hell. 400 years of hell. 400 years of being indoctrinated. 400 years of worshiping a person that don't even look like him. The only people on this planet that worship somebody that don't even look like him. So you know we were twisted around. And it's hard to teach a Negro. But that's your job. That's all our stuff. I know the space is short, so I'm going to peace. This God's nerve. The next God that's going to speak will be Shema.
Peace, God. I know that this is a history guy. For understanding second, I'm gonna give you some minds. In 1972, I was standing in a bar. I ain't have no guidance. I was a young baby with no guidance. My earth was an alcoholic. I ain't had no step, old dad, no old dad. I ain't had no parents. Actually. But what I did learn was that there was something called the Son of Man. I heard that on the street. As a baby, I was walking. And some brothers just said, I'm the Son of Man. All right. That stayed with me. And it stayed with me for eons, meaning years. Okay. One day, I was not understanding, 13 years old. And I was in a bar. I ain't had no business in no bar at 13 years old. I'm 13 years old. Where was my order? Where was the whole day? So, in this bar, a guard came up in there. His name was Black Sea, you are law. So he came to me, he was like, yo, guard, what you doing here? I said, hanging out with the guards. I ain't had no knowledge of self, but I'm just hanging out with the guards. So the guard said, hold up. I said, yo, God, peace. I was using the bathroom. He said, I said, God, peace. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. He said, God, hold up. Hold up. So I stood fast, and I held up. And he bit my ear from about 10 o'clock that night to the bar closed 4 o'clock that morning. I didn't go back to that bar. You know why I didn't go back to that bar? Because I started going to his house. Because what he told me, I needed. I needed what he told me, that the black man was God. Here goes some lessons. This is what's going to show you who you are, because I needed some type of identity. I needed some identity. I didn't know who I was, but he showed me that he was myself, my A-life. So what I did was I took that, I ran with it. I'm not going to be here much longer, but anyway, what I'm saying to you is, last Friday I spoke, and we was talking about these same seats. If you are discouraged or disliking about these seats, because I remember when these seats were full, and they stayed full, it was so hot in here that you was going like this. Yo, God, what you doing? It was hot. God, if you don't like dealings with these seats, when you leave here, you go outside and you tell them people outside, bring your lost soul inside. Because this is where the rally's at. This is where the information is at. When you standing outside, you missing shaking the eye to. This is where the message Ain't nobody gonna give you no sidebar. That's not direct information. This is direct information. I got direct information. You know why I got direct information? Because I lived it. I've been through the wars. I've been up in Piedmont doing my job for years. I traveled from the east to the west, and from the west back to the east, on foot. And there was a lot of us rolling. We ain't rolling alone. We wasn't get down like that. Like the golf was talking about the games. Oh no. You wouldn't catch us out there like that. I also was raised with a few brothers that's here right now. And you know what, God? They kept me alive because the Lord said, get out. Because she had some pig feet, some collard greens with the hog maws and whatever stuff in it. She said, here go your dinner. I said, I don't eat that. She said, if you don't eat that, no, she said, I said, I don't eat that. She said, who told you not to eat this? I said, Allah. She said, then go live with Allah. I said, see? I want justice real. Back then, you know, you still here? Peace, God. And I was 13, 14, 15 years old. I love this nation. I love this nation with everything I got. And you know what? I still got it. In 33 years, I'm still here. And I got the father from the mind. I ain't seen his physical. You can get up there and talk about the father all you want. Let me tell you something. I learned about him, and I was encouraged, and I responded to him richly. He was just talking to me, and I didn't even know it. But I'm here right now to show and prove that his mathematics does exist, and it's going to always exist. So if you don't like what's going on, and you see people outside, and you see St. Bill, then you get your butt up, and you go outside and say, the rally is inside. Because this is where you're going to get information, direct information. We don't teach this shit because it ain't shit. We teach this because this is the real deal. We don't be about it, we are about it. We need to exist as a black man, as being God. Be God. Don't tell nobody something and you don't walk about you afraid to say what you got to say. Be God. Open your mouth. If you don't like it, so what? Tell us tomorrow, say, come to me. I ain't afraid of him. I ain't afraid of him. I know how to teach this properly. I'm an educator. All I got to do is give you my story. That will influence you if nothing else don't. Peace. Praise the Lord.
Peace, God, on earth. Our time is getting brief, so I'm going to ask the next couple of speakers to be brief because they're having a healthcare presentation. But the next order, and I'm saying it's going to be brief. When you see me do this, it's time. The next order, and this will probably be the last three speakers, will be positive, decipher, then what I do is going to say a few words. So please keep it brief. Positive.
Hey. 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 Make a positive influence, Lord.
I look good, right?
Yes, indeed.
I look good, right?
Yeah, you look good, bro.
You
You know what self-centered is? I'm self-centered right now myself. A lot of you think I look good on the outside. We were taught to wear suits, crowns, koofies, bow ties. A lot of you don't know about that. What it is, man, God was telling me I have love for this, man. By the church that's so, some of them learn from God how to sow. God told you what we sowed with. See, the first thing I learned, I came from 1968 when I went upstate.
A lot of brothers don't identify when the buses was going from Spot to Utah, C-95, C-76, C-74, C-71, the blocks, Block 3, those that was locked in Block 2, Apollo 6, Block 7, Block 5, crown, bow tie. See, I gotta tell you that, right? This crown got a little dirt on it, right? That's all right. 'Cause I ain't washing it, fall time. I ain't gonna wash it. You'll see, you know. You know, some people got a joke about you, look like Elijah.
Hey, go Elijah.
First things I heard in 1968, the first game of state, God was talking about his first intervention with God, right? And here we come to Southern Mary, right? 3 things we taught, 3 things we teach. We teach about who God is, who the devil is, and why we don't eat They had what they call dietary laws when I came to Otisville. See, along the travels, they was Otisville, Otis was going to Hampton, Warwick. See, depending upon the ages of where they was sending us to various concentration camps. In case you don't know that that's what that was, and it's still going on today. See, but where that started at is just like it is right there. This is an information knowledge, but a lot of people outside, and these things ain't fair. But the spirits is here. See, I learned a long time ago, there ain't got to be a lot of people here. I always used to like to build with the rally at the end when only be a few stragglers, right? Give it up. So, me in Otisville, I knew when they was teaching about we don't eat swine, and God said, don't nobody in this county eat no swine. And I came up there with the Mona Doom cookies. See, a lot of y'all noticed they had sheep, right? They talked about dietary laws and things that we don't eat. We didn't want to hear about no Nabisco and shit, because we was grown up on Nabisco. Oreo. You know, chocolate on the outside and white on the inside, but a lot of us had that mentality. You know what the funny thing about it is some of us still got that mentality. They mathematically understand psychology. You know, I was slow learning when they used to tell me at school, right? Get the pen and to get to the paper. Y'all was slow. Some of y'all I had to write it down. I had to take it through the mathematics, man. Wasn't just learning stupid Roman. They tell me to shut up already.
Yeah, short time,
So I got to jump speed this, man. Because I came with a specific point that I wanted to touch on. You know, God is born God, right? A flow is born understanding, and a law born God. And that born knowledge, God, and is to build or destroy. Is we going to build or is we going to destroy? Because what's missing is the love. You know, I'm telling you about tumbleweed. You know what tumbleweed is? Talking to some of you real bright brothers that think you got law. I spent half my life in this nation hearing from brothers who want to tell me about what they got from the Father, only to chase the mirror and find out after I went through the fire, went over the hills and mountains of the cave, that when I opened up the book and looked was a mirror. I said, I went through all that to get a mirror. Yeah, you went through all that to find out you can change the view. Father means the fact he or her, so they can go forward. When I tell you that the brother's missing, I'm not saying that there's not brothers that don't love brothers. There was a type of love that battle warriors had to have, and they still got it. But we also was talking about in the 140 that many of us was not physically dead, only mentally dead, but we recovered from it. So now we take it into the next stage, and a lot of us got into this thing that they call recovery. A lot of y'all is caught up in the chronic and the new names they got for all that, and I'm not knocking you through what you're going through, but I'm telling you how I understand, God. I'm not understanding, I'm overstanding. Power, overstanding, years young. I have 43 days until I have 14 years clean. This body, 14 years clean. What I'm telling you about is that in the 13 years I got 5,000, if you want to break it down to days, 5,000. 38 days today, and what I'm telling you is that there hasn't been nothing that's going in this body. No cheat, no sideline, no want to sit, because y'all said, the Father said in the text that it was going to come a time when we was going to have to be his voice, son. So a lot of people are afraid this, man. Now a lot of people don't understand that the transformational process that we're going through, some of us don't even think there. Some brothers tell you, oh, y'all crazy. Say, yeah, Mom, we got in the war, you wouldn't survive. You can't break bones. Yes, you can. There was fruitarians, before fruitarians, there was aeritarians, there was Judatarians, there was wateritarians.